What happens when the oxygen on Earth suddenly drops by 10%? Not disappears, not vanishes overnight, just drops. The air around you still looks the same. The wind still moves through trees. The sky remains blue. Cars continue driving. People continue talking. At first, almost nobody notices because oxygen is invisible, and the human body is very good at pretending everything is fine. Most people imagine the same thing when they hear this scenario. They think humans would simply breathe a little harder. Maybe some people would faint. Maybe athletes would struggle. Perhaps mountain climbers would feel familiar symptoms. After all, the atmosphere already changes slightly depending on altitude. Life adapts, so a 10% drop does not sound catastrophic. But that's not even the most dangerous part. The real danger is that oxygen is not just something humans breathe. It is the foundation of almost every controlled reaction that modern civilization depends on. A small reduction changes chemistry itself. Right now, Earth's atmosphere contains about 21% oxygen. If it suddenly fell by 10%, that number becomes roughly 18.9%. That may sound minor, but biologically, it is the equivalent of instantly moving every human on Earth to an altitude of around 6,000 feet above sea level. Millions of bodies would immediately begin compensating. Breathing becomes faster, heart rate increases. The brain receives slightly less oxygen with every breath. Reaction time slows. For healthy people at rest, the symptoms may begin subtly. Fatigue, mild confusion, pressure behind the eyes, shortness of breath while walking upstairs. But the human body is built around narrow margins. The brain alone consumes around 20% of the body's oxygen supply. It is constantly hungry, constantly demanding energy. Reduce oxygen even slightly, and the brain begins making compromises. Decision-making worsens, memory weakens. Judgment becomes unreliable. Across the world, people start making small mistakes. Drivers miscalculate distances. Pilots react a fraction too late. Surgeons lose precision in their hands. Machine operators become slower. Air traffic controllers struggle to focus. Nothing dramatic at first, just millions of tiny failures happening at the same time. Then hospitals begin filling. The body responds by attempting to capture more oxygen from the blood. Heart muscles work harder. Blood pressure rises. The kidneys release hormones that trigger increased red blood cell production. But that process takes time, and time is exactly what civilization begins losing. Because oxygen does not only sustain humans, it sustains combustion. Engines begin behaving differently. Jet aircraft struggle with lift efficiency because engines receive less oxygen for fuel combustion. Power plants lose output. Industrial furnaces become unstable. Rocket launches become nearly impossible. Even fire changes. Flames burn weaker. Some fires refuse to spread. Others produce more smoke because combustion becomes incomplete. At first, this sounds beneficial. Fewer wildfires, less aggressive burning. But incomplete combustion creates another problem. Carbon monoxide rises. Cities begin filling with toxic exhaust. Indoor heating systems become dangerous. Factories release higher concentrations of poisonous gases. Poorer regions with weak ventilation suffer first. Then agriculture starts changing. Plants require carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. But oxygen still matters. Cellular respiration in plants becomes stressed. Soil ecosystems begin destabilizing. Microorganisms that support crops lose efficiency. Pollinating insects become sluggish. Bees struggle to fly long distances. Bird migration patterns break apart. Predators lose stamina during hunts. Nature becomes quieter, not dead, just weaker. Then the oceans begin responding. Marine ecosystems are already sensitive to oxygen levels. Many regions of the sea exist near biological limits. A sudden atmospheric reduction decreases dissolved oxygen in water. Fish begin surfacing near coastlines. Mass die-offs appear in warm regions first. Coral systems weaken further. Entire food chains begin compressing inward. The largest animals suffer the most. Whales, sharks, big cats, elephants. Their bodies become expensive to sustain. Over time, the planet starts favoring smaller life forms. Again, just as it once did millions of years ago. Because oxygen levels have shaped Earth before. Hundreds of millions of years ago, oxygen concentrations were much higher than today. Insects grew massive. Forests expanded endlessly. Life accelerated into gigantic forms. But when oxygen levels dropped during past extinction periods, ecosystems collapsed. Body sizes shrank, species disappeared. Then comes the infrastructure collapse. Modern cities depend on constant efficiency. Power grids require maintenance crews. Transportation networks require precision. Hospitals require stable oxygen supplies. But oxygen production systems themselves become strained. Medical oxygen demand explodes worldwide. Factories cannot keep up. Supply chains break under panic buying. Governments attempt reassurance. Remain calm. Conserve energy. Avoid unnecessary travel. But the public notices something impossible to ignore. People are becoming tired all the time. Workers cannot sustain productivity. Construction slows. Emergency response times increase. Military readiness weakens. The global economy begins suffocating. Then aviation becomes dangerous. Aircraft cabins are already pressurized environments balanced carefully against atmospheric conditions. A global oxygen reduction changes safety margins everywhere. Pilots begin reporting cognitive impairment during long flights. Emergency oxygen systems are used more frequently. Older aircraft become unsafe. International travel quietly decreases. Not because governments ban it, because the skies themselves become exhausting. Mountain cities become nearly unlivable. Places already adapted to thin air cross dangerous thresholds. In parts of the Andes and Himalayas, residents begin descending permanently. Entire communities migrate downhill. Tourism vanishes from high elevations first, then permanent habitation follows. Meanwhile, athletes across the world watch records disappear. Human performance declines globally. Olympic times slow. Endurance sports become brutal. Recovery takes longer. The strongest humans on Earth suddenly feel fragile, and then the psychological effects begin. Low oxygen alters mood. Anxiety increases. Depression rises. Aggression becomes more common in some individuals. Sleep deteriorates. Dreams become vivid and disturbing because the brain struggles during nighttime oxygen dips. People wake exhausted. The world becomes emotionally unstable, not through panic, through exhaustion. And exhaustion changes societies. Arguments increase. Patience decreases. Governments become reactive. Communities turn inward. Civilization loses clarity, not all at once. Quietly, then comes the next realization. The atmosphere is not recovering. Scientists confirm the drop is stable. No immediate reversal, no natural correction. Earth has entered a new baseline. Children born after the event adapt slightly better than adults. Their bodies develop under thinner oxygen conditions. Lung capacity changes over generations. Blood chemistry slowly shifts. Human evolution resumes under pressure, but adaptation is slow, and civilization moves faster than biology. Cities built for one atmosphere now exist in another. Some regions become economically impossible to maintain. Factories relocate toward lower elevations. Certain industries disappear entirely. Even architecture changes. Buildings begin integrating oxygen-enriched environments for schools, hospitals, and workplaces. The wealthy purchase purified air systems. The poor breathe the planet directly. Over decades, inequality becomes biological. Then forests begin changing shape. Trees grow differently under prolonged oxygen reduction. Growth slows. Decomposition patterns alter. Wildlife populations rebalance around new energy limits. The sound of nature changes. Fewer insects, fewer birds, longer silences between movements. Earth does not die, it transforms. Because life rarely disappears immediately, it bends first. And humans slowly realize something uncomfortable. For most of history, civilization believed intelligence separated us from nature. But oxygen reveals the truth. Humanity is not above Earth systems, it is trapped inside them. Every thought you have, every memory, every invention, every war, every prayer, exists because invisible molecules move quietly through your lungs every few seconds. And the moment that balance shifts, civilization begins unraveling from the inside. Not with explosions, not with fire, but with breath, one slower breath after another. Until the species that conquered oceans, machines, and space suddenly remembers it was always dependent on the air around it. And perhaps the most unsettling part is this. The atmosphere does not care whether we survive inside it. It only continues, quietly. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more insight on the fragile systems that keep humanity alive. What consequence of our oxygen's reduction shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Stay curious.